Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use? Today it's going to be a little bit different because the weapon I'm showing off is particularly effective on Mirage, and it's sort of a fun way to use the weapon as well that I prefer. So I'll be using it in combination with Mirage's one a little bit just to show how that affects it. But the weapon that we are going to be using is the Hikou Prime. These weapons are really fun with a very specific mod. So that mod is Concealed Explosives, 80% chance to explode. This means that because you can throw so many so fast, you can just like lay waste in like a pretty decent AoE to just a bunch of enemies at once. And for like large like group clearing, these are actually really good. And even without that, like getting direct hits and then adding in the explosive damage is actually really powerful. And if you use pistol ammo mutation, it ends up being actually a really effective strategy. And even on top of all that stuff, is really good against nullifiers because you can kill them while they're inside their bubble. So like they are just it's a very unique weapon and they're very fun. And Concealed Explosives isn't like a mod that is necessarily even needed to make them good, but it makes them so significantly, like it's a huge difference between not Concealed Explosives and Concealed Explosives. It makes a huge difference because it gives you all of those added bonuses of having the AoE clear a little bit, being able to kill nullifiers before their bubble is popped, all that kind of stuff just makes it a very effective weapon. And then even so far on top of that, using it with Mirage means that you're just throwing even more of these and just blowing everything up. So let's go test it out. There's not a whole lot to say about the weapon besides that, because it's just a fun weapon that is kind of unique in its way because it's the fast firing kunai. Weapons like the Despair don't really benefit nearly as much from Concealed Explosives because they throw so few, but with the Hikou, your fire rate is so high, you have a ton of ammo, multi-shot adds into that even further, and you're just blowing everything up. But yeah, let's go blow everything up. Alright, so, welcome to testing. So, because of the way these weapons are, they're mostly for if you're using some corrosive projections and stuff for the higher level end of enemies. So I think we're gonna do probably just some like level 30 enemies, and that should be fine. But we're gonna do a kind of different mix of the enemies themselves. We'll do like 5 nullifiers, like 2. Yeah, 2 corrupted Moas, that's fine. How many enemies do I have left? I have 7 enemies, like I said, 13. We'll do like... No. 2 of these. And then we need a bunch of normal enemies, obviously. So we'll do 5 of them. 5 of them. And we'll do like 1 corrupted ancient. Yeah, so this is a bit of a like weirder thing, but it's kind of to show off like the effectiveness of the weapon against nullifiers, obviously. But keep in mind, at higher enemy levels, especially units like the heavy gunner and the lancers, will have so much armor that it will start negating how good the weapon is at a pretty fast rate. The way that you get around that is corrosive projection, which I am generally using while I'm using this weapon, and it makes them much more effective. So the enemy level being 30 is roughly equivalent if you're using corrosive projection to the enemy being like somewhere around level 80 or 90. So let's simulate. Alright, that was it without Mirage's one. This is it with. I just fell off the map. Oh no, I saved it. Whatever, no big deal. Okay, let's go back to Mirage's one. This is Death from Above. This will hurt you if you are close to it, so be cautious. But generally, this is just a very effective way to fight. And it does a shitload of damage. The damage is, like, greatly amplified whenever you're using Mirage's one. And you can clear enemies very, very quickly. I fell off there, so let's do, I don't know. Well, I fell off. It didn't really give me an advantage or anything. But, let's do... Let's do something a little more interesting. Let's do, like, level... Yeah, let's do, like, level 50. We'll go up to level 50, but we're gonna do all nullifiers. Just to show, like, what this weapon is kind of for. You're supposed to kill nullifiers with it. That's, like, why you would bring it for the huge, like, part. And then against anything that is, like, lower than, like, level 40 is usually, like, it acts as it should, just regularly without corrosive projection. But then you add corrosive projection and it becomes, like, a great weapon up to, like, levels in, like, the low hundreds. So let's just kill a bunch of nullifiers. Yeah, they're everywhere. This is what hell looks like for most Tenno. You don't see this every day. Yeah, a wasteland of nullifiers. An absolute wasteland of nullifiers. Yeah, that is definitely what this weapon is for. Also, for, like, lower groups of, like, single nullifiers or a couple of nullifiers, obviously just having one character and doing this is absolutely fine, and is usually what you will be using. Like, we'll just not go into Mirage's one, and we'll do, like, 4 of them. Whoa, that's 20. I definitely did not hit 2 into 0. Okay, there we go. Do 4 of them. And are they all in the same spot? Okay, this is like the ideal, but... yeah. It kills them before the bubble pops, and that's what makes it, like, really effective. Oh, also, aside from that, and this is really important, because they're exploding, they're actually also hitting the enemies that are inside the bubbles just before it pops, so you get that first stage of the bubble down, but even all of the enemies that are inside get hit with the explosive because it's an explosive, which makes it very, very good. That's just another kind of added bonus on top of it. But there are actually a lot of reasons to use these weapons. If you're doing, like, ODD and you're not going, like, a million waves, this is great for just, like, throwing it down a line of infested, blowing them all up. Anything in the low level that's going to have a ton of dudes, amazing, perfect even. With the pistol ammo mutation, you're, like, never going to run out of ammo. Just throw in the shuriken, sure. And it's a fun weapon also because you have, like, especially in combination with Rush, because you can hit 1 and then it's, like, literally AC 130 inbound, just... it's very, very powerful. Any open areas, like Earth, it's just a generally good weapon that you can just ruin days with. That's the Hikou Prime. They're very effective, just not really against armor in specifics. Actually, you know what? Before we go, let's do one more test. Let's just run a series of tests. We'll do level 50, and we'll do, like, 2 corrupted heavy gunners. We'll just do the basic test. Let's just do the basic test now. We'll do no nullifiers on this one, it'll be fine. This one will be not really what this weapon is for. So if I die, I won't be that surprised. And I am going to immediately use my 1 because these guys will shoot me super good because my Mirage is very squish. But yeah, this should be a little more difficult in terms of like enemies I'm supposed to be fighting with my Mirage. Ooh, Bombardiers. Also, this is how I play Mirage. I just like try and make it so they absolutely cannot hit me. I'm attempting to only utilize my 1 because usually I'd have all of these people blind. Get rid of these basic enemies. Specifically, the bombards are the most challenging part here by like a country mile. Ooh. Okay. And I bombard. Okay. Ah. Yeah, you have to focus really hard to kill hard targets with this weapon. Just because, like, they can take a ton of damage at high levels. Like, here, let's just do... We'll do 2 of these guys. These guys take a ton of damage. And like if it's just them, you can do fine. And these guys are blind also, which is worth noting. But like they take a ton of these on their own, and usually you would pair this weapon with like a dread or something similar to that for like those high like those targets that are very, very tough. You'd be like, oh, that's a corrupted bombard that's level 75. 1 second, let me pull out this dread and just murder it. So picking a weapon that also complements this weapon is very important at the super high levels. But for just general enemy clearing, it's still very good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Testing got a little more in-depth. If you guys enjoyed that, then let me know, and I will do more things like that for the Why Would You Use. And if you have any weapon suggestions, this weapon was suggested in the comments of the last video, I believe. So here it is. And I'll see you tomorrow.